Courtesy of demand, today we are going to be having an unusual comparison between Predecessor versus Successor, the Toyota Raum versus Toyota Spade respectively. These two cars were marketed as mini MPVs in the sense that they could be used as family or business cars. They are both decently spacious, affordable to buy and maintain, and are also super reliable. Now, the Toyota Raum that we'll be taking a look at is the second generation, which was in production from 2003 till 2011, after which its production was discontinued and it was replaced by the first generation Toyota Spade, which was in production from 2012 till 2020. The Spade is essentially just a Toyota Porte with a bit of a different and better exterior design, but do take note that there was a first generation Toyota Porte, but the Spade came in 2012 as a first generation, though it was essentially a restyled second generation Toyota Porte. So you could as well say that the Spade is in its second generation. Which one of these two mini MPVs should you go for? Should you go for a locally used Toyota Raum with under 1 million, or go for the newer 2016-2017 Spade that's going for slightly over a million shillings? Stay tuned to get the answer. As always, please consider subscribing to the channel for more informative content on cars as well as bikes, and welcome to IK Auto Reviews. So comparing these two cars is like comparing two apples, a fresher one versus one that is not so fresh but still sweet. The less fresher one, which is the Raum, will set you back between 500 to around 750,000 shillings depending on the model year and general condition. As expected, the later 2010 and 2011 models are more expensive, while the earlier models are a bit more affordable. The fresher apple, which is the Spade, on the other hand, will set you back between 1 million to around 1.3, depending on whether it's a 2016 or 2017 model, as well as the trim level. In terms of the engine options, both cars have the famous 1NZ engine that has stood the test of time. These engines are notoriously reliable, dependable, and affordable to maintain. The Raum has a 1500cc that is coupled to a 4-speed conventional torque converter automatic, and it's available in either front or all-wheel drive. As the norm with Japan, they don't come up with radical improvements. They instead implement the Kaizen strategy, which is continuous improvements or small improvements over elongated periods of time. And that same strategy was used in the 1NZ series of engines. When the Toyota Spade was introduced to replace the Raum, that same 1NZ engine was used, but with a few tweaks here and there to improve on efficiency and also a bit of performance. And no wonder these engines have continued to be reliable over the years. The only radical change was to do with the transmission. Instead of the 4-speed automatic, Toyota chose to go with the CVT to ensure better efficiency. So in the Spade, you get either a 1300cc or 1500cc. Both engines come paired to a CVT gearbox, and all-wheel drive is available as an option. As I said earlier, these engines are very reliable and affordable to maintain. Power-wise, the 1500cc's are decent enough. They pack in good power for family transportation or even for business. These are not fast cars. They are just decent point A to point B cars. The 1.3 liter in the Spade will feel underpowered and strained, especially if the car is carrying some significant weight. Efficiency-wise, the 1.5 in the Raum is good enough. Expect between 10 to around 15 kilometers to the liter, depending on how you drive, how well the car has been maintained over the years, and also on the amount of weight the vehicle is carrying. The 1.3 liter in the Spade will return up to an impressive 18.5 kilometers per liter, while the 1.5 around 16 kilometers per liter. Do take note that the Spade comes with idling stop technology that shuts off the engine in traffic to help save that extra bit of fuel. This technology plus the CVT gearbox have been key in ensuring that slight increase in efficiency compared to the Raum. The Raum has a 45-liter fuel tank, while the Spade has a slightly smaller 42-liter tank. Both cars have a decent 150mm ground clearance that will enable you to clear most bumps without much of a problem. As for the brakes, again they are neck and neck, with both having ventilated discs at the front and drums at the back. The carb weight of the Raum measures in at around 1150 to 1220 kgs, while the Spade measures in at around 1100 to 1240 kgs. And lastly, some of the extra features you can expect to get in both cars include alloy wheels, fog lights, rear spoiler, automatic AC, infotainment screen that doubles up as the backup camera display, and an armrest. So generally not bad at all for basic affordable cars. Now, speaking of the exterior designs, do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But personally, I tend to think the Toyota Raum wins hands down. It's a basic yet mature and inoffensive design. I doubt the same can be said about the Toyota Spade. It just looks a bit polarizing. It's one of those designs that you will either love or hate so much. Interior wise, again, the Toyota Raum seems better. It's basic but very inoffensive. The only slight issue may be the center placement of the instrument cluster, which is out of the driver's line of sight, and this can be a bit distracting when driving. The Spade also has the same issue, so there's no running away from that. Other than that, the space is adequate at the front to accommodate even taller people. One interesting feature about both cars is the absence of a B pillar. You may think it's not there, but it's in fact there. It has been integrated into the doors, and this was done to ensure maximum space for ingress and egress on the left side. Remember, there are versions of these cars that have front passenger seats that can be moved electronically to enable for people with disabilities to have an easy time accessing the vehicle. At the back, the Raum offers decent space for 3 average-sized people to travel in comfort. The boot is good enough for 1 large suitcase and much more. Something to take note of is that the tailgate opens sideways, similar to what you get in the second and third generations of the RAV4 and even Prados. It's not a bad design, but at times it can pose a challenge opening the boot if there's another car parked closely behind. Moving on to the Toyota Spade, the first thing you'll notice is that it offers a slightly elevated driving position compared to the Toyota Raum. Once you get in, the polarizing design continues, so you'll either love or hate that dash design. To be honest, it's not among the most appealing designs out there, but it's functional enough. The seats are relatively supportive and comfortable. I did an actual review of this car some time back, and I'll leave a link to that video in the description box. You can check it out to see how practical this car is. Upper variants come with a driver's armrest for that improved comfort. At the back, the space is good enough, similar to what you get in the Toyota Raum. The Spade is different from the Raum in the sense that while the Toyota Raum comes with 2 sliding doors at the back, the Spade only has a sliding door on the left side, but the right side gets the conventional doors. It's an interesting design, and this, just like in the Raum, ensures that the door aperture on the left side is quite big, so even loading bulkier items will certainly be a breeze. Something else to take note of is that the front passenger seat can even be folded down to create more loading space. So practicality wise, it's good enough even for business. So there you have it. These mini MPVs share a lot in common, including their pros and cons. They are both very reliable and affordable to maintain. They are also quite efficient. The Raum particularly offers good value for money because it does everything that the Spade does, yet it's cheaper by more than 400,000 shillings. The only problem is that some people prefer the most recent number plate, so they will leave a Raum in favor of the Spade. Another pro in favor of the Raum is good resale value. On to its only one weak point is the sliding doors, which with time will certainly develop issues, but other than that, it's a very good value for money MPV, which is ideal for both family and business. The Spade may be more expensive than the older Raum, but compared to most other modern 2016-2017 cars, It's still one of the most affordable small cars out there. In fact, it's cheaper than even a Honda Fit, so it still offers good value. Its only weak points are the sliding door issue, similar to the Raum. Then the second issue is the CVT gearbox. Toyota CVTs are reliable, but nowhere as bulletproof as the conventional automatics like the one in the Toyota Raum. If you don't take good care of the CVT, it will certainly fail on you. CVTs are not meant for rapid and hard accelerations. They are just meant for smooth and linear power delivery to enable for good efficiency. They are not transmissions that can take a beating like the conventional automatics. So there you have it. Which one should you go for? Get a good, well-maintained Toyota Raum and save yourself over 400,000 shillings. In fact, if you're on a tight budget, this is the mini MPV to get. You will have years and years of stress-free ownership experience. On the other hand, if you don't mind the looks of the Spade, then go for it. It's a more modern version of the Toyota Raum. It will also serve you reliably for years and years without much of a problem. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Personally, my pick will be the Toyota Raum. But if, for example, I was being financed by a bank or a SACCO, and there was a stipulation that I must get a 2016 or 2017 car, which means the Raum is locked out, I would opt for the Toyota Ractis instead of the Spade. Thanks a lot for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel for more informative content on cars and bikes. Stay safe, drive safe, and see you in the next one.